Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the powerlifting mastery session, part of the 2020 Angel City Virtual Games presented by the Hartford. I'm your host, Michelle DeGros, also Haugen, and we are excited to be here with you all today. Before we get started, I have a quick announcements. Please remain on mute for the duration of this session so everyone can hear our coaches. If you have any questions or comments, please write them down in the chat. We recommend when the session begins to go to the top right-hand corner of your Zoom screen and make sure you are on active speaker so you can see the coaches on a bigger screen. For today's session, we are asking all non-adapted athletes participants to add the word supporter to their name in their Zoom box. You can do this by clicking the three dots in the right-hand corner of your box and selecting rename. Again, this is for all non-adapted athletes participants. We are fortunate to have medical volunteers supervising this session. If you're feeling sick or have an injury, do not push yourself. The medical team wants to remind you to keep some water nearby and to perform skin checks before and after competitions. Please make sure your name on Zoom is the same name as you use for registration and that your camera is on so we can help everyone keep everyone safe. Medical is here every day, 30 minutes before and after the Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday sessions, events. So please stop by the tent or let them know if you need anything or have any questions. If you have any history of cardiovascular, breathing, or history of COVID, please message one of the medical providers. Also, if you have any changes in condition or if you're training or compete in a hot environment, message medical so they are aware. Again, please send a direct message to medical if any of those apply to you. To send a message, you can click on the chat feature at the bottom of your screen and find medical for a private message. Finally, I'd like to take this moment to thank the incredible sponsors who made this clinic possible. First, a huge thanks to the Hartford, the presenting sponsor of the 2020 Angel City Virtual Games, and another big thank you to Adapted Apps and the Training Hall for sponsoring this session. Okay, I'd like to introduce our coaches we have for us today. We all met O. We have here also Cassandra, one of our powerlifters and also student of kinesiology, and also Gerald Ramos, powerlifting coach, and also PT in training, or assistant PT, and also a student. Okay. So you want to add to this?
What is the format going to be? I thought it would be video submitted that we will be reviewing and discussing. I haven't prepared anything other than that's what I was told.
So the format, we wanted to share also of the athletes, the tips that we gave, specifically about how to train from home, how to stay strong, hydration, nutrition, but also how to work in that grip. Most of them had a lot of questions about grip training. If any athletes there can just share what they did during the week and have any questions upon that, and also the exercises we recommended, specifically for the upper back.
Since we had our session on Monday, did any of the athletes that were with us on Monday benefit from or work on any of the exercises that Ode and Michelle talked about, and have any experiences that they want to share about? I know Carrie was posting.
Yeah, I did. I ended up getting some grips for my dumbbells, and it helped activate some of the muscles that haven't been working.
Well, that's good.
What fat grips did you get? The blue ones?
Red ones.
Red ones, okay. So the red ones, how big are they? I thought I have blue, orange, maybe it's orange. They're pretty thick.
Not Fat Grips brand. They were just ones that I found on Amazon.
Oh, okay. They're not Fat Grips, okay.
Oh, there she is.
But it works fine. Nothing wrong with that. But it really does help out because you got to squeeze and it activates muscles in your arms in a way. You can actually, if you're doing curls, use them for curls. You can use them pull down, rowing, anything that you're doing with a dumbbell or a barbell, and it really helps activate the muscles that you otherwise wouldn't activate.
Yeah, we actually tried it on my oar yesterday, but it was a little bit too much for during rowing.
Yeah.
Cool. How fun.
How about the overhead presses? How do they feel?
It was a lot better. I haven't been able to do those in a few weeks because
Okay.
a lot of my back muscles aren't working, but it was a lot
Okay.
better with it.
Okay. I like when you were doing the chest presses on the floor.
Mhm.
That really helps get you stronger and also, you know, helps protect your back.
Yeah, those are my favorite.
Yeah. Um, so where are you located again?
San Lorenzo in the Bay Area.
In the Bay Area? Okay, that's just a couple of hours drive. Maybe maybe we can figure something out in the near
It's
future.
an hour,
Oh,
it's an hour flight, but it's
Yeah.
6 hours drive.
Flying is faster, so I'm saying like maybe we can figure out after this COVID is over how either, you know, we can take a little trip up there or we can have you here and at least a day or two and help you with your lifts and get you stronger.
That would be great.
Okay.
Does anyone else have some positive experiences or anything to share about their workouts during the week as a result of our session on Monday?
Hi. Oh, shoot. Am I too close?
Too close.
Oh, no, too close. Okay. Oh, I think Michelle and I are too close. There we go.
You're at training.
Sorry.
Better.
I'm always the one bringing the technical difficulties to the party.
Yeah.
So I was taking what Michelle and O had talked about to my back workout, and I was lifting on Wednesday, and I was taking in everything that O had talked about, keeping my back tight and just keeping the grip strong. And I actually went into about a 70-pound lift overhead press. And I haven't done that in a minute. And it was just, I was keeping everything tight, especially in my back. Because my back is one of the areas that I have a hard time just keeping strong, because it's, with a spinal cord injury, it's one of the things that is actually a hard time training for me anyway, because where I have my break, it's hard to train because one side is stronger than the other. And so it's kind of hit or miss on where the muscles are going to be stronger or weaker, if that makes any type of sense. So my coach and I are always doing muscles to kind of strengthen it. And so whenever I can get any type of weight over my head, I feel really good and really strong. And I just took everything into consideration, what you guys were talking about, and it actually made sense. And it actually got my lift a little bit more improved. So thank you guys for that.
Wow.
Do you, Tiffany, do you have access to pulleys and stuff like that to do pull downs and
Yes.
how good? Because obviously those things you can really focus on your upper back and working if you're sitting even in a wheelchair, right? And do some great stuff on your upper back using that. Because really a lot of these things are relating to activation, getting muscles activated. When we don't use them, we kind of lose them. And
Yes.
you know, you're experiencing it because of injury. I can experience this now as I'm getting older. It's going really fast. If I don't use certain muscles, the muscle tone is gone in very short time. It wasn't very long since that I didn't feel those effects at all, but now I really do feel it. It really, you really got to stay on top of it. You got to activate it, and a lot of the activation can be done by, you know, lighter exercises that you've really focused, which is really kind of going back to where I started as a bodybuilder. You know, you had to really focus on the muscles. Well, bodybuilding is going to be very good for you guys to do in terms of activating muscles, because you had to really think about what you're doing with that muscle and use it.
Yeah, and then that's what we have been focusing on, just a little bit of bodybuilding. I know you don't really think about bodybuilding in terms of powerlifting, But it really makes you, even though the weight might be super light, it really makes you focus on, okay, let's try to wake up that muscle. And especially for me, I may not feel my lat all the way down here, but when I'm lifting something or pulling something that's making me use my lat, I can feel it shaking, even though I'm not using it in everyday life. Like, I've been in a chair for 20 years, and so my muscles aren't fully there like they were 20 years ago. So I have to make them work for me by doing, stuff that's not considered fun for me. Like, I want to go out and throw up a log every time I go work out, but that's not going to make my muscles work.
Yeah. To be able to do the heavy stuff, you got to do the little stuff. I mean, if any of you have ever looked at Martin Leese's videos, he's been struggling with some injuries this year, but he's always the same way. He started training with me almost 10 years ago, and you'll watch him, and he obviously he's the current world's strongest man, but he's still lifting very lightweight, do a lot of isolated movement just to try to rebuild and activate the partial muscle. He has a neck issue, so his right arm, at one point, he competed at a day that he could not actually lift a coffee cup. He could not, he had to use two hands to do it, but he kept doing it. And he went, this was at the Arnold's 2-3 years ago at the Arnold's Classic, heaviest contest in the world. He did well in every event, including almost doing a 400 plus log lift, essentially with one arm. But only because of he's working on it, he's trying to activate it, and he was doing some fancy staggered grip on the log, got it to his chest, which is that was not the biggest problem. But from up, he had really only one arm, unless he could drive it up with his legs, and he had it almost. I mean, it was so close to a lockout. If he had locked it out, it would be fine. But he had no power to hold it. So if it because it was short of full lockout, it just came, of course, crashing back down. But it was very, very close. And of course, with any kind of strength in his arm, he would have been able to do it. But it shows that he had, and then he works and works and works on the little things to try to activate that area because of the neck injury. And now he just had actually got hit by a car. On the bicycling, he'll get hit by a car. So now his other side is bad. So anyway, he's working on that. But if you watch his videos, you'll get some good ideas. So you can see that it's not so bad to lift light weights. But here's one of the 330-pound world's strongest man lifting tiny little weights, just trying to activate muscles for strength. He's not doing it for looks. He's doing it for not that it's wrong to do it for looks either, but he's doing it for strength.
Awesome.
Yeah, do we have anyone else who want to contribute to this?
Anyone else with questions?
Oh, there he is.
I was gonna say that I don't normally do standing overhead presses, especially with my amputated leg. I've always felt unstable, but a couple days ago I decided to. I was like, screw it. Let me try to do some overhead pressing, and I was pretty happy with the results. I thought I was only gonna get maybe the 25-pound weights for a few reps, but I ended up doing 135 for a 5x5, which is crazy, and I felt very stable. And the whole time I was thinking about what we were talking about, being tight and staying tight, and I really incorporated that into my lift, and I felt very comfortable on my prosthetic, and that was the first for me, so that was awesome.
No, that's great. Here, I suggest I actually am a very big believer in seated. When I'm doing to do strict pressing, I do it seated because then you kind of take the leg out. So, in your case, I mean, you don't have one leg, so you maybe a good idea to do standing just to kind of get used to putting weight bearing on it. But if you sit on a bench and your legs are just in front of you, or you can even sit on the ground and do it and do strict pressing, it really becomes a strict press. But the other part it does, it really, really works your core, because it's harder to stabilize when you're sitting on the bench than when you're standing, because standing you have more distance, from floor to upper body to adjust to the weight. But when you're sitting on the bench, you cut off the legs and you have to press. So the core is working very well even on the seated version. But I'm glad to hear that you're trying it outstanding. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you. That's because like I've been really interested in strength. I've never trained to be strong, and feel like I have a lot of potential to kind of push myself in that direction of being stronger. And yeah, it was exciting. It really was exciting to just be able to stand like that with, I mean, 135 may not be too much weight, but it was a lot for me, and I felt stable. I felt good. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there.
That's awesome. Strict pressing 135 is not
Not easy. So just 135. Well, I just do some little techniques, and then you go back home with that, and you get stronger. Because he's here, so he'll be joining us to adjust his techniques here at the training hall.
I guess you're calling in from the hotel, but
yeah, I'm at the hotel right now.
Yeah, I'm here down the
in
road.
the training hall right now, but I'm waiting for a contractor to come and get started on some work on my house, and I need to get him in, let him in, and so forth, and make sure that. But as soon as he gets here, I'm going to come over.
Cool. I'm excited. I'm really thankful for this opportunity to learn from the best. I really am.
You, Brad.
Of course.
Anybody else?
No, I just want to make a comment there. I think that the video from the training hall is not really a training hall. They're in a little cubby hole, which is a closet that's converted into an office. That is not really the training hall, but I think a lot of things, there may be some activity going on out in the hall, because we are moving a lot of the equipment outside. We are creating an outside training yard, basically. So we have the hall and the yard, and we're going to do a lot of the strongman equipment's going to be on the outside of the training hall. The fence went up yesterday. We didn't know when that's going to happen, but we got it, and it came in yesterday, and they installed it yesterday. So
okay,
we haven't moved in the equipment, but that may be taking place as we are speaking. I'm not sure.
That makes sense.
So Stacy, I see Yolanda is here logged in, and she's pretty new in weightlifting and powerlifting. And she just had like her first sessions in the first week of the powerlifting Angel City Sports. Maybe she'll want to share something.
Love to hear from you, Yolanda.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? I just made the first session of powerlifting in the bench, and it was very nice to feel that I can just lift something without hurting my back, because I'm having very big troubles with my left hip, and I have a lot of trouble lifting.
Oops, you just pushed mute, Yolanda. You have to unmute. There you go.
Video just helped me a lot doing this, and I'm very comfortable doing this kind of weightlifting. It's my first time doing anything in a gym, so it's for me feeling very good doing this. Thank you for the opportunity.
I'm glad you came. That's awesome that you started doing this. That's great.
You're just gonna get stronger from now on, because we're not letting go of you.
Thank you.
Anybody else with any questions? Medical? Any recommendations?
What else do we have on here?
I'm going to zoom out, but just wanted to thank the coaches and Ode and Michelle and everybody, and excited to see all these athletes, kind of getting the support. And I think there's a lot more we can do going forward. So just thanks to the coaches.
Thank you, Clayton.
They are
Thank you for
great.
the opportunity.
Thank you for having us involved.
Of course. Our honor.
I kind of have a question. I was kind of curious about like in terms of like mobility for powerlifting, and what are maybe some good exercises to kind of maybe be more like flexible and mobile in certain movements.
Michelle, you want to take that?
Yeah, I'll take that. I like to do single joint movements and warm up my shoulders.
You either pause. We can't hear you. Or we.
Can you hear me?
No,
Right here.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of mobility in the shoulder, a lot of warm up. There's not a lot of blood flow in the small joints. Bend pull aparts. I like what I like to call either scapular pull-ups, where you just kind of compress and hold and decompress, and also scapular push-ups. I take a PVC pipe or a broomstick, and we do 3-way circles, also for mobility, and not forcing it, because with strength comes mobility. But also when there's a lot of blood flow in the small joints, then you get less prone to injury, and it's just a better warm-up in order to engage, with your lifts. Regardless, never start lifting heavy. Just go really light, treat it like it's heavy, and work yourself up. So it's all individualized too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because my biggest problem is probably my shoulder. It's not too bad, but there's times where I feel like I'm not doing enough to warm it up. And I don't really do like anything crazy. I do, some of these, and I do face pulls before my workouts, but I feel like I might need to do something different, because there's times where like I'll go into the bench or I'll do something and it's not unbearable, but it's like a slight pinch in my shoulder that's just uncomfortable.
Yeah, you may want to make sure, even the event itself, like bench press, you can actually, after you do all these other things, you do warm up on the bench press as well, meaning that you just use the bar or a stick even, for that matter, but just moving through the bench press movement slowly, just to kind of get the joint used to the movement.
Okay.
Weights on the bar.
Okay.
And always treat everything like it's heavy, super heavy, because that gets you ready not only for the lift, but also like emotionally. Treat it like it's always heavy, even if it's a band. Like I like to take the band or PC pipe and make believe I'm bending the bar, so I can really, really activate those small muscles, especially the scapular area.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, Brad. I thought maybe I could chime in on this as well. I'm Zach. I'm a physical therapist in Oregon, out in Corvallis. So with all of these, pressing movements, when you're doing heavy press, kind of day after day, I think it was a good comment, good discussion earlier about working the back and working maybe some pulling movements and stuff like that. So kind of trying to find a balance there. With kind of working the muscles like in the front of the shoulder and in the back of the shoulder, and also working your shoulder like rotationally, because when you're doing a lot of bench press and working the pecs a lot, that's working like your internal rotators. So kind of, rotating the arm in like this. So it's important to kind of rotate out as well to kind of balance that out, and to kind of do a lot of kind of chest opening things. Where you're kind of spreading the chest open and pulling the shoulders back to kind of counteract all of that pressing. Does that make some sense?
Yeah, it does. So kind of like saying something like this, and
yeah. So you're essentially going the opposite direction, right? So
yeah.
You're doing the inverse motion. So like lots of rows, and Michelle was mentioning like band pull aparts and stuff like that. I think that's a good supplement to the pressing.
Awesome.
I like to do, sorry to interrupt, I like to do dumbbells pullover when you're on the bench, and you take that and you come here, and that opens the chest up too. That's one of my favorites.
Awesome. Yeah. So instead of doing front movements, kind of stretch out the back of your rear delts and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you're kind of, stretching the muscles on the front side when you're
Yeah.
engaging the muscles on the back side, like doing a row or anything like that, like maybe like a reverse fly type movement, something
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
As a warm up, you can do like reverse flies. Like this is a really good suggestion. Is to do reverse flies as a stretching movement for your chest, but but you're using your muscles on the back there, on the back of your shoulders to do the movement, not force. Using muscles instead, and that actually helps activate the muscles a lot more than just taking some pipe or something and stretching it. I don't know what you'd call that. Passively stretching it as opposed to actively stretching it using.
I think that's my biggest problem is I don't really, when I go through the movements, I don't really think about them. I just kind of, okay, I'll do this a few times, I'll do that a few times. I don't really think about actually engaging the smaller muscles in the joints.
Yeah, that was a good input from Zach there. I think that's a very important part.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. And thank you for the therapist for medical. Hey, Stacy. Anyone else have any questions, comments, any recommendations? Athletes or non-athletes? Oh, so quiet. Everyone wants to raffle. Everyone wants the prizes. Right, Stacy?
Yeah, we do. I was just checking my list, make sure I have everybody's names put in there. Because our medical team doesn't go on raffle, right? You guys, I don't think they do, huh?
Oh, we don't go on raffle. Oh.
You don't have raffle.
You're resistant, man. Just kidding.
You guys have the opportunity to win swag, like a Angel City Sports swag bag. And entering all of the, so we have Angelo, Mark, Tiffany can win. Yeah, she can. Yolanda, Brad, and Carrie. I'm gonna look at my wheel. Make sure all your names are entered. And okay, so
Anybody else have any comments or questions about things they have done this week or even anytime, actually? Yeah. Just unmute yourself and speak up.
I just saw that Michelle put her contact information in there down at chat, which is awesome. And if you you can always get a hold of any of Michelle at just contact Angel City Sports too. All right. Do you want to do a raffle, Michelle? What do you think? I lost her. I can't hear you.
I was on mute. Sorry.
That's okay.
Anyway, thank you so much. It was much fun. Lots of questions. Feel free, if anything, I'm gonna keep on in the chat giving us information, his email, the training hall, etc. Thanks to our coaches who are here standby also. So let's wrap it up for now and let's start our raffle. We're gonna raffle.
I'm gonna share my screen.
Okay.
If I can make sure it goes.
Okay. We're raffling off 2 limited edition Angel City Games shirts and 2 super athlete prize packs from the Hartford, which includes a yoga mat, water bottle, Angel City socks, and some other fun swag. And that's legit. Okay. Now our amazing producer Stacy will share her screen and bring up the fun raffle. If you're an adapted athlete and you do not see your name on the wheel, please let us know. If your name is selected, please send a direct message to Stacy to confirm we have your contact information to mail you your prize. Okay, let's give away some t-shirts.
Do I have everybody on the screen that's an athlete? Am I missing anybody?
No, I don't think.
Oh, Katie interviewed. Okay, so can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna spin my wheel.
Brad.
Brad, congratulations.
So this is what you do, Brad. In the chat window, you have to send me your contact information. If you want it to be private, then you just send it to me individually. You can just, like in the chat, just make sure I have your mailing address to me, Angel City Stacy, individually, and I will write that down and make sure I send you the swag bag.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll do that right now then.
It's awesome. You're gonna love it. It's really fun.
Thank you so much. I've never won anything in my life, so this is a real honor.
I'm so happy. I'm really thrilled that you joined us this week, and this is perfect. I'm glad you got it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So we got another one coming.
High percentage chance of winning on this one.
Right, that's right.
Oh, that's Yolanda.
New power lifter, Yolanda. I'm so happy for you, Yolanda. So same thing.
Thank you.
You need to message me in the chat at the bottom here. So if you, like where it says everyone, if you click the everyone and just find my name, which will be Angel City Stacy, and then just click that and then write on there, write in there your contact information, and then I will receive that and write down your info. Does that make sense?
Okay, thank you.
And if you're not worried about people knowing where you live, just put it there anywhere. There we go. I've got yours, Brad.
It's okay.
That's so awesome. Congratulations, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
God, thank you.
Rue de Fleur. Cool.
Do you have any more raffles, Stacy?
No, I think were we giving away two? I think that was it.
Okay.
So we got Yolanda, first timer, which is kind of excited, and Brad, any raffles?
Yeah, I think that two was it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not looking at the script.
Okay.
Yeah, two. We did good. We did good, Michelle.
Okay, yay. So I have a quick question for everyone. First, where are you from? And what's your favorite thing about powerlifting? And you can add if you do another sports besides powerlifting or if you're new on the sport or not.
I am from Puerto Rico. I just came into work since November, and I met Michelle and Art maybe by the end of December. So I enjoy very much being with them this time, and I do range shoot also.
So Stacy, she does range shooting. Is that something that Angel City Sports is bringing, shooting this?
That was range shooting?
Yeah.
That's cool. No,
I know, right?
But I think it would be something that eventually we would do. I know there are other adaptive sports organizations that do this, that I've known to do it. Triumph Foundation is one that has done that. And I have proposed it as something that Angel City should do because I'm married to somebody who does a lot of, is trained in that area. And I've said we need to start up something like that. But we at this point don't, but it would sure be awesome, you know, and like we always say that there's nothing that we won't try if we don't find the trained coaches to help us begin that process. So that's.
I'm asking a question. I don't even know what range shooting is. What is it?
With a pistol in a range, just to shoot.
This, like, are you talking, Yolanda?
Target shooting with a handgun. Is that what it is, basically?
I'm assuming you're doing handgun, right, Yolanda?
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. So handgun.
That's correct.
Rifle.
Yes.
Like I noted, like I know another organization has done like seated shotgun. So some people like they have like they'll set up a special type of like seated shotgun for people who are in chairs.
I never tried that one, but it could be fun.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, you know, all you need to do is adapt the equipment and have the proper training. So you're just finding coaches that who are willing to work with it. So, but that's cool. I think we eventually would do that because I think it's a sport that's growing, and a lot of I know that there are a lot of people that are interested in it. So eventually.
Yes, and you can do it seated, stand it, or even on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
That's correct.
Thank you, Yolanda, for sharing, and I'll look that up for the future.
That would be. Thank you.
Anyone else of the para-athletes want to share where they're from, if you haven't, and their sport besides powerlifting, or what got you into powerlifting?
Yeah, I'll share. I'm from San Diego, California. I never have powerlifted or done strongman before, but I've always found it very fascinating. And in terms of being an athlete, I had my start in wrestling and Muay Thai. I was very into martial arts. When I was about 19 years old, I was sick of being skinny because in those sports you have to cut a lot of weight, wrestle and fight in certain weight classes. So I was like, I'm done being skinny. I'm gonna start lifting weights. So from about 19 years old to roughly about now, I've been just lifting weights, nothing too serious. But now I'm 25 now, and I decided I wanted to kind of take it to the next level and train harder. And like I said, I've always kind of been fascinated by powerlifting and especially strongman.
So great. It's great.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
How about you, Carrie?
I'm up in the Bay Area. I got into powerlifting because I went to a friend's powerlifting competition, and somewhere in the discussion she realized how strong I was, so she signed me up with her trainer, and then eventually signed me up for competitions. But it's fun because no one expects me to be this strong. And my main sport is rowing, because I just love being on the water, and I like how powerlifting and rowing actually complement each other really well.
That's cool.
What kind of rowing are you doing? Like a single sculler or a single
Yeah,
scull?
single scull. I'm a PR2. Last year I was first in the US in my division.
So you do it on the water as well. You do the land-based rowing too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's great stuff. Rowing is great activity.
How about the two quiet ones, Mark Smith and Angelo Tiger Shark? I think that they're the silent type. Here we go. Oh my gosh, so excited to see these two. Okay, we need to hear from these two. What sports do you guys like?
I like dancing with my brother and dancing by myself. I like basketball. I guess golf.
Wow.
Even I'm really bad at it.
That's okay.
Not that bad.
How about the other one with the calf shirt on?
So I do like a whole bunch of sports. I do basketball, dancing, and hiking, and
Oh,
Wow. Do you guys like to lift weights?
yeah, we
yeah.
do.
You're strong?
We're strong. We're way strong.
You're really strong? Can you show us a muscle?
Do you want to flex? Yeah.
Go ahead. Just ask
So I
me
have a quick question for you guys. How old are you guys? How old? What are your ages and where are you from?
I'm 9, from California, in San Diego, and inside, I think that, yeah.
How old are you again?
9.
9. And you?
I'm 11.
9 and 11. You know, kids can lift, okay? Kids can lift so they can get stronger with proper technique and a coach that understands your biomechanics and that you're growing, okay? So do not be afraid to get stronger, okay? So when you're done, or if your parents are there, make sure they contact us, okay? And you're pretty local. You said San Diego?
Yes.
San Diego? I'm just a couple of hours away, okay? We can arrange that. And I wouldn't mind going over and helping you, okay? But kids can lift and kids can get stronger because when you get stronger, it's gonna last forever. It's longevity. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So don't let anybody tell you that kids can't get strong.
Oh, definitely nobody tells them that. So I'm Michelle. I'm Dad.
Hi, Dad.
So
Hi.
I just dabbled in personal training for a while. I actually wanted to be a physical therapist, but went law enforcement for some reason. And anyway, so when little dude popped out, I guess to kind of try and keep it short, I just wanted to, overall thinking was preserve his shoulders. He's going to be using his shoulders for, the length of his entirety. So the importance on that was great. And I always wanted to do like a lot of, obviously he's going to be the majority of his movement's going to be push. So I wanted to do a lot of pull exercises. So in trying to do that kind of overall balance, he utilizes these. So one of the things that he's done, because he's been actually lifting since he was 2 for physical therapy reasons, but he utilizes these. These are called row wheels. And he actually pulls them back to go forward. So that's one of the things that he's been doing since she was 6 when we got him, or 5.5, I guess, when he got him. But because of that, he's just, the overall thinking has always been there. And unbeknownst to me, one time we were doing rows, and I left to go to the restroom, and I left him with the dumbbells to do rows with, which are the 25s. I came back and the crazy little guy's curling them. So he, he's kind of shown interest in powerlifting just because, he is kind of exceptionally strong. But it has helped with everything. Strength has obviously increased everything he's done. So to date, it's either 43 or 44 different sports that he's been involved in. And it's a lot of it is due to just proper lifting and, proper body mechanics.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. You're doing a great job. And I wanted to share, I do have a son who is adaptive. He is neuromuscular. He has what they call neuromuscular junction disorder, which is very, very rare. So he's low tone. He has to conserve energy in order to use his muscles. The heart's a muscle. So we don't know which muscle is going to give up on him. He is wheelchair dependent, power wheelchair. He is super smart. He does walk by stations. But for example, when he stands, he can't stand still because he can't hold his own body weight. So when my child was born, I transitioned from athletes to disabled athletes in order to help my son in the future. So as a mother and also as an athlete, as a coach, I understand you as a father, and I understand also the athletes. I can relate. I'm not physically impaired, but I am living that day by day. And when you have a child, sometimes you just feel hopeless because you want to help them more. The most important part is for them to be aware how to use their energy, how to use their talents, and that's going to prepare them better for the future. Just sharing that I do myself have a child who's also physically impaired. And he does seated archery. He's a great, amazing archer.
Yes, he is.
Stacey, thank you.
Yeah, it's always an awesome thing. Yeah. And thank you, each of you guys, for for helping out with this. It means a lot in the community, and again, yeah, when you have somebody else involved with it, another family member, friend, it makes that involvement so much more worthwhile. So yeah, thank you again, Michelle.
You're welcome. And in the chat, O's email and our location and my email and my personal phone numbers there if you want to reach out to us. I would love to come over one day.
Okay. Yeah, I copied it down. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, kids. Bye.
I got something I'd like to share, actually.
Feel free.
As a new amputee and just a new disabled person in this community, this has probably been the best experience that I've had. Yeah, everything's just been going so great, just with these calls and hearing other people's stories, and it makes me really proud to be an amputee and be a part of this community.